Hey guys, it's James. This is going to be a quick video, as quick as I can make it, because I'm running late for class and I'm about to be to my class. This is going to be a very unprofessional review video for Saints Row 4. I'm planning on doing an unboxing video later today of Killer is Dead. Meant to do it last night, but GameStop didn't have my copy. I'll explain it more in the actual unboxing video. I was pissed last night about it, but oh well, you can get over. I guess I had to get over it. All right, let's start with the review. I break it down into 6 different categories, and then I give a final rating at the end. So first one's presentation. The game itself, presentation, the story, all that. The idea of the game, it wasn't anything innovative, and in fact it was kind of cliche. Aliens take over the world. So I don't know, it wasn't bad, but it definitely wasn't great. But the idea of the game, comedy game, that's perfect. And if it was trying to be a perfect comedy game, then it basically managed to do that. It managed to be very funny. So if they weren't going for a serious story, I didn't think that at all. You can't expect a serious story. So, but yeah, I think that the game was, the story was, cliche, but if, that's what it's meant to be, which I think it is, then I guess that's okay. But presentation, I give it a 7 out of 10. Next would be graphics. The graphics were much better than other Saints Row games. I've never played any of them, but I've seen them played and I've seen their graphics, and most of their graphics are very crappy compared to the year before it. Like to other games behind it, usually they're pretty crappy. Like when they release, their graphics are usually pretty bad compared to all the other games that are out at the time. Saints Row 4 actually looked pretty darn good. Didn't look amazing like Last of Us or BioShock Infinite, but it did look really good. It did. I think that it was on par with a lot of other games that came out now, and better than a lot of other games as well. So I actually gave the graphics this time around an 8 out of 10. Sound gets an 8 out of 10 as well. I would even raise it to a 9 out of 10 possibly, because the voice acting was spot on. You got Nolan North and Troy Baker in the same game, and they're both fantastic voice actors. If you don't know who Nolan North is, he's Nathan Drake, the voice of Nathan Drake. If you don't know who Troy Baker is, he's been the lead role for The Last of Us and BioShock Infinite this year, and they're both up for Game of the Year awards, so if that tells you anything. They're both fantastic voice actors, and the game itself was filled with other good voice actors and actresses, so it was really good. They made it super funny, and yeah, the soundtrack itself, the music made the game even better, made the game funnier, and the soundtrack was just perfect almost as well. They played music at inappropriate moments, but that's what made the game even better. So sound, I'd give an 8 out of 10, maybe even a 9 out of 10. Okay, let's see, what else? Gameplay, I would have to give the gameplay a 7 out of 10. It's the other lower score that it got, because gameplay, it didn't do anything innovative. It put a whole bunch of other existing things into one package, and for that I thank it, because it makes the game even more entertaining. You got a lot more you can do. But anyway, yeah, so you got a lot more you can do, so it makes it a lot more entertaining. But I mean, it's a whole bunch of ideas that have already existed, so it didn't do anything game-changing with its gameplay. It didn't necessarily feel real at all, but I mean, it at least put it all into one package that we can really enjoy. So so yeah, gameplay gets a 7 out of 10. Entertainment, it gets an 8 out of 10. I think I gave it a 9 out of 10 on the computer notes I had. I can't look at my notes while I'm driving. But yeah, it was a very entertaining game. I had more fun with it than I had fun with The Last of Us, if that says anything. So 9 out of 10, it's not the funnest game I've ever played, but entertainment has to be almost perfect for me to give it a 10 out of 10. There's only a few games I would give a 10 out of 10, like I'd have to say Fallout 3, maybe Heavy Rain, some games like that. Hopefully Grand Theft Auto 5 will get a 10 out of 10. But yeah, I'd give it a 9 out of 10 because it's super fun. I can see myself get bored of it one day eventually. But for the most part, it would be fun for months and months because you get all those superpowers. And by the time I quit playing, a couple hours in, well, not more than a couple hours in, but you know, I still had only gotten about 3 or 4 of the superpowers, and I think there's probably at least 8 or 10. So it would be fun to keep playing, and I could play it for months. So entertainment, 9 out of 10. Finally, replay value. I would also give that an 8 or 9 out of 10. It would be a tough decision between the two, and I can't remember what I wrote on the notes, but it was a game I could see myself playing quite a bit more often. Even after I beat it, I could see myself going back and maybe playing the mini games for some extra points and extra scores and all that. So I gave that an 8 or 9 out of 10 because the replay value, you know, I could see it's there. It's not perfect. Eventually I would get bored of it, but it's pretty darn good. I'd say it's pretty darn good. So I know this has been pretty unprofessional, but as a whole, I say Saints Row 4 is a solid 8 out of 10, maybe even a 8.5, close to a 9 out of 10, because it was just a really fun game and really good game. So yeah, it was kind of one that slipped under the radar for me. I didn't expect it to be so good, but it ended up being pretty good. I was curious if it was going to be as good as it looked, and it did turn out to end up being pretty darn good. So, so the game price for me, I would buy the game. Hold on just a second. Sorry about that. I would buy the game for $40 to $45. Let there be one price drop before I buy it. So anyway, yeah, so let there be one price drop, and I would buy that up in just a second. So, and for any fans of Saints Row or Grand Theft Auto, I would pay full price, you know, and I would have paid full price, and I wouldn't have been disappointed at all. But now that I haven't bought it, and now that I reviewed it and played it, I would pay $40 to $45 for it. So, anyway, thanks guys, and I will talk to you later.